Have you ever scrolled through old magazines or stumbled upon a rerun of a beloved movie and suddenly wondered, where did they go? We're not talking about the gradual fade of actors who age gracefully into character roles or musicians who reinvent themselves. We're talking about those stars who seemingly vanished overnight, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a lingering sense of intrigue. The kind of fame that burns bright and then simply flickers out. Think of the pop icon whose infectious tunes dominated the airwaves, only to retreat into a life shrouded in mystery. Or the comedic genius who had audiences roaring with laughter, only to disappear from the stand-up circuit and movie screens alike. This isn't a story about failure, but about transformation, choice, and the often unseen realities behind the gilded gates of celebrity. It's about recognizing that the relentless pursuit of fame can sometimes lead to an equally compelling desire for anonymity. We've all witnessed the spectacle of celebrity culture, the constant churn of new faces and fleeting trends. But what happens to those who, for whatever reason, step off the carousel? What becomes of the individuals who once commanded our attention, only to deliberately fade into the background? Their stories are rarely told, overshadowed by the narratives of those who remain firmly in the spotlight. We're drawn to these disappearances not just out of idle curiosity, but because they reflect something deeper about our own relationship with fame and success. We celebrate ambition, drive, and the relentless pursuit of dreams, often overlooking the potential cost. These vanished celebrities offer a counter-narrative, a reminder that happiness isn't always found under the bright lights of Hollywood. Their decisions, whether driven by personal struggles, burnout, or a conscious desire for a different kind of life, challenge our assumptions about what it means to make it. Imagine the intense pressure of constantly being watched, judged, and scrutinized. Every action, every word, every outfit analyzed and dissected by millions. For some, this level of attention becomes unbearable, a gilded cage that slowly suffocates the spirit. Others may find that the relentless demands of their careers leave them emotionally and physically depleted, yearning for a simpler existence. And then there are those who simply realize that fame isn't what they thought it would be, that the price of celebrity is too high to pay. The stories we're about to explore are not uniform tales of woe or regret. They are diverse, complex, and often surprising. Some involve scandalous downfalls and public shaming, while others reveal peaceful retreats and deliberate choices to prioritize personal well-being. Each narrative offers a unique perspective on the allure and the perils of fame, and the courage it takes to walk away from it all. We aim to uncover the human stories behind the headlines, the real-life dramas that played out away from the red carpets and flashing cameras. It's a journey into the lives of those who chose to redefine success on their own terms, even if it meant sacrificing the very thing that once defined them. Prepare to be surprised, perhaps even challenged, as we delve into the reasons behind these disappearances. These are not cautionary tales, but rather invitations to consider the true meaning of happiness, fulfillment, and a life well lived, regardless of whether it's lived in the spotlight or in the quiet shadows. To truly understand the phenomenon of celebrity disappearances, we need to consider the historical context that shaped the very notion of fame. The modern concept of celebrity, as we know it, is a relatively recent invention, flourishing in the 20th century with the rise of mass media. Before the advent of film, radio, and television, fame was largely confined to political leaders, military heroes, and perhaps a few literary giants. The reach was limited, and the level of public scrutiny was significantly less intense. Actors, for instance, were often regarded with a degree of suspicion, their profession not always considered respectable. The studio system in Hollywood changed everything. It created a star-making machine, carefully crafting images and personalities that captivated audiences worldwide. Actors were no longer just performers. They became commodities, their lives meticulously managed and controlled by the studios. This level of control, while lucrative for both the studios and the stars, also came at a considerable cost. Personal lives were often sacrificed, and the pressure to maintain a flawless image was immense. Consider the tragic example of Marilyn Monroe, whose carefully constructed persona ultimately crumbled under the weight of public expectation and personal demons. Furthermore, the rise of tabloid journalism and the 24-hour news cycle amplified the intensity of the spotlight. Every aspect of a celebrity's life became fair game for public consumption, from their romantic relationships to their financial dealings. This constant scrutiny could be incredibly damaging, leading to anxiety, depression, and even substance abuse. It's not difficult to imagine how this relentless invasion of privacy might drive someone to seek refuge in anonymity. For those who came of age before the digital era, the transition into this hyperexposed world must have been particularly jarring. The evolution of social media has added another layer of complexity. While it offers celebrities a direct line of communication with their fans, it also opens them up to unprecedented levels of criticism and harassment. The anonymity of the internet emboldens trolls and keyboard warriors, who often hurl insults and threats with impunity. This constant barrage of negativity can be incredibly draining, even for the most resilient individuals. Thus, the allure of a life free from the judgment of strangers becomes increasingly appealing. Building on this, however, it's important to acknowledge that the desire for privacy is not always a reaction to negative experiences. Some celebrities may simply reach a point where they want to pursue other passions, spend more time with their families, or live a more normal life. They may have achieved all their professional goals and feel a sense of emptiness or disillusionment. The constant pursuit of fame can be exhausting, and the rewards may not always outweigh the sacrifices. The freedom to walk down the street without being recognized, to make mistakes without being judged, to simply be themselves. These are all things that many celebrities eventually crave. Consequently, understanding the historical trajectory of fame is crucial to appreciating the reasons why some celebrities choose to disappear. It's not always about scandal or failure. Sometimes it's about reclaiming control, prioritizing personal well-being, and finding a sense of peace and contentment outside the relentless glare of the spotlight. The allure of a simpler life, one lived on their own terms, often outweighs the perceived benefits of continued fame and fortune. Reflecting on this journey so far, we've traversed a landscape where the shimmering mirage of celebrity intersects with the stark realities of human experience. It's a terrain marked not by simple triumphs or failures, but by the complex interplay of ambition, expectation, and the enduring search for personal fulfillment. The narratives we've touched upon, though diverse in their specifics, resonate with a common undercurrent: the profound impact of relentless visibility on the individual soul. It's akin to watching a master craftsman meticulously construct a magnificent edifice, only to witness them, at the height of their powers, deliberately dismantle it brick by brick, not out of destruction, but out of a deeper understanding of the foundation upon which they wish to build their life anew. This act of deconstruction, this conscious choice to step away from the preordained path, speaks volumes about the courage required to redefine success on one's own terms. Consider the intricate dance between public perception and private reality. The image projected onto the silver screen, the carefully curated persona presented to the world, often bears little resemblance to the person beneath. This dissonance, this constant negotiation between authenticity and artifice, can create a profound sense of alienation, a feeling of being trapped within a gilded cage of one's own making. The desire to break free, to shed the mask and embrace one's true self, becomes an irresistible force. The very notion of disappearance itself warrants closer examination. Is it truly a vanishing act, a complete severing of ties with the past? Or is it rather a transformation, a metamorphosis into a different form, a shifting of priorities? Perhaps these individuals haven't disappeared at all, but have simply chosen to redirect their energy, their creativity, their passion towards pursuits that nourish their souls in ways that fame never could. We might envision it as a river, once flowing powerfully towards a vast and turbulent ocean, now diverting its course into a tranquil and fertile valley. The river still exists, its essence unchanged, but its destination and its purpose have been fundamentally altered. This redirection, this conscious act of choosing a different path, is not a sign of weakness or defeat, but rather a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the human spirit. It's a recognition that true fulfillment lies not in the accolades of others, but in the quiet satisfaction of living a life aligned with one's own values and desires. Drawing these threads together, we begin to see a pattern emerge, a subtle but powerful affirmation of the human capacity for change and self-discovery. The stories of these vanished celebrities are not cautionary tales, but rather invitations to reflect on our own relationship with ambition, success, and the pursuit of happiness. They challenge us to question the conventional metrics of achievement and to consider what truly matters in the grand tapestry of life. As we move towards our final reflection, let us carry with us this newfound understanding, this appreciation for the courage it takes to walk away from the spotlight and embrace the quiet beauty of a life lived on one's own terms. In the end, the narrative of the vanished celebrity isn't about the spotlight's cruel capriciousness, but about the enduring human spirit's capacity to redefine its own narrative. It's a story etched not in fading headlines, but in the quiet resilience of individuals who dared to question the very definition of success imposed upon them by a world hungry for spectacle. We've peered behind the velvet ropes and seen not emptiness, but a conscious recalibration, a turning inward toward a more authentic existence. It's a testament to the idea that true freedom isn't found in the adoration of millions, but in the courage to relinquish that adoration in pursuit of something more meaningful. The allure of fame, with its promises of validation and immortality, can be a powerful siren song, luring individuals toward a shore littered with a wreckage of broken dreams and shattered illusions. To turn away from that song, to choose the quiet path of self-discovery over the clamor of public approval, requires a strength of character that is rarely acknowledged in our celebrity-obsessed culture. Their disappearances, therefore, are not failures, but acts of quiet rebellion, a reclaiming of agency in a world that often seeks to strip individuals of their autonomy. They remind us that the most profound acts of creativity and self-expression often occur not on the grand stage, but in the intimate spaces of our own lives. The decision to step away from the limelight is not an admission of defeat, but an affirmation of the enduring power of the human spirit to adapt, to evolve, and to redefine its purpose. So, as the credits roll on these stories, let us not dwell on what was lost, but on what was gained. Let us celebrate the courage of those who chose to rewrite their own narratives, who dared to prioritize personal well-being over public acclaim, and who reminded us that true happiness is not found in the fleeting validation of others, but in the enduring satisfaction of living a life aligned with one's own values. The true practice begins now in our own lives as we contemplate what truly matters and how we can cultivate a life of authenticity and purpose, regardless of the allure of external validation. It's a call not to abandon ambition, but to temper it with self-awareness, to measure success not by the applause of the crowd, but by the quiet contentment of a life well lived.